August, September, and October tends to be a more bearish month. Now is the time to patiently wait for a pullback. Then you can take opportunities of that. So these are the 5-year seasonality pattern. So how we read this data is, if let's say we take a look on July, what does this 100 means is, if let's say we take the percent of let's say the month of July for SPY to close higher than opening of the month, which means that let's say July is starting at this point, but are the closing towards the end of month. All right, so from here we can see that for S&P 500, 100% of the time, the market closed higher for month of July over the 5 years data. All right, so that's why I say that July is a bullish month, all right, because of all this earnings season and so on. So July tends to be a positive month, which means that the S&P will close higher from opening of the month. All right, but if you take a look on this data for August, September, and October, things are more bearish. All right, things are more bearish, especially September. Only 25% of the time, the market closed higher than early of the month. So as a trader or investor, how we make use of all this data? All right, let's take a look on QQQ first before I summarize it. So for QQQ, also similar pattern. July, 80% of the month close higher. 80% of the time close higher for month of July. But you can see that similar pattern happened in August, September, and also October. However, for November, you can see that it always tends to close higher as well. All right, 100% over the 5 years. For November, it closed higher compared to early of the month. So as a trader or investor, how we can capitalize on this data is, there are even the market at the high, I would say now is the time to wait for a pullback. All right, so if you have a proper way to trade, you have a strategy, you have a process, now is the time to patiently wait for a pullback. And if August, September, and October, you see a strong support form, then you can take opportunities of that. Because overall, I would say based on all these factors I have just shared earlier, potentially markets still have room for a year-end rally if let's say there is a dip in all these August or September or October. So it's time for you to get ready as well. For those that still haven't have a systematic way or a proper trading system, you may take this opportunity to learn out because you have 3 months to wait for the dip. All right, wait for the dip and capitalize on the November rally. All right, and for those already have a systematic way, already have a strategy, you can also consider to, after the earnings season, potentially take some partial profits or potentially secure some cash position and wait for the August, September, October dip. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know when the dip will happen, but after the earnings season peak, if let's say there's no further good news to fuel the market to further upside, any bad news may cause the market to come down. All right, so this is something you may take note. This is just a historical data for us to reference. Of course, if you want to do well in the market, you may also need to have a strategy, have a systematic way, have a proper risk management as well.